Hello and welcome. My name is Mary Van Dyke. I am the owner of Finding Grandpa. This series is called Building the Bridge Back to Ireland, using various websites to find documents that might show where in Ireland your ancestors are from and where to look once you get across the pond. This is part 9 in the series, the last half of Websites with Irish Records, and it is the end of the series. Before you begin, all the websites listed here are samples only, and they do not represent the full range of options for you at your fingertips on the internet. They are websites I use often, and I flip-flop back and forth between them because they all have different databases. Be aware that some of the websites that I mention are free, might change in the future, and have fees attached. And I use various surnames in the examples in the slideshow series. So I don't want to confuse you if one image shows a record with a McDonald in it and the very next image shows a record with the last name of Kelly or Riley. The internet websites I'm going to talk about today are Irish Genealogy, From Ireland, and Family History. These websites have different databases than the ones prior that I discussed in Part 8, the first half of this websites with Irish records. The other websites have more extensive databases, but these are different. Some of these have church records, and the other databases don't have them. So I recommend that you go here and view what's available at these sites. The next two are Find a Grave and Irish Graveyards. They are websites that have information on various graveyards and cemeteries throughout Ireland. Two newspaper subscription sites are irishnewsarchive.com and irishtimes.com/archive. I'll show you the National Library of Ireland's page on family genealogy. And the last three are Roots Chat, Ireland Roots, and Discover Ireland. Irish Genealogy has some good information on researching information on your ancestors in Ireland. I'm going to search the church records, but I do want you to pay attention to the link buttons Research in Ireland as well as Useful Links. And I suggest that you browse around the website to see the information that they are sharing with you on how to research Irish ancestors. When I click the church records button, it brings me to this page where I can type in information and click the search feature, or I can actually, under the help screen on the right side, click the button that says what church records are available online. Now they have a variety of records from the various religions, Roman Catholic, Church of Ireland, and Presbyterian, in various areas. It shows to me that the Roman Catholic Diocese of Kerry is uploaded, information on Dublin City for both the Catholics as well as the Church of Ireland records, Diocese of Cork and Ross. So it gives you a variety of areas in the variety of religions. So I would suggest, if you suspect your ancestors are from these areas, that you search this website. FromIreland.net is an index database that is it looks to me like continually growing. I'm not very familiar with it. I only just started using it, but the first one that intrigued me right away was the baptism records in Oughterard, and that's in County Galway. And I know some of my relatives are from that area, so I want to pay attention to what's there, as well as any website that has a database with church records I want to explore, because the church records in Ireland are very difficult to find online. Most of the time you need to find microfilm images if you don't live in Ireland, or you have to go to the National Archives and view the microfilms there and the church registers there. But if I find a website that has a database with any church records, I'm going to be looking all over it. I click the baptism records for Oughterard and I get this information. She describes that the Catholic Church parish records begin in 1809 and go up to 1880. Now, the information that she put on her website is roughly a 4-month date range of March 1827 through June 1827 currently. I'm going to assume that there's going to be more information uploaded in the future. but she's got an index of information that she's found on the microfilm from the National Archives. And I know I can order that film as well at my local library or through the LDS FamilySearch.org website, and I can view it myself on microfilm at the library. FamilyHistory.ie has some databases online. If I click the Online Databases button, the drop-down box appears. Now, I'm going to look at our online databases to see what's at their website, but they also have useful links to other online databases. So I suggest you explore this website as well. When I click the Our Online Databases button, it shows me the information that they currently have uploaded. And it shows me that there's volunteers that are transcribing the information while they digitize the records. So I suggest you scroll around this and view the records that are available and search for information possibly on your ancestors. Findagrave.com I described in the American websites. That was part 4 in the series, part 4, the websites with American records. And Find a Grave is worldwide, and that's why I'm re-showing this for Ireland, because I know there are records on their database for people who are buried in Ireland. Once I click the Search the Grave Records on the right side at the top of the list, I want to search for any name Bridget Sweeney, died in 1922, and the cemetery is located in Ireland. If I was searching this in America, I'd have the option to reduce that search from the United States down to a state and or a county, but currently they only have countries outside the United States shown as the country, and that's all it's going to search, the whole of Ireland. There's only one Bridget Sweeney uploaded currently that died in 1822 in Ireland. When I click her name, it's going to take me to her memorial page. Now, I personally uploaded this information. This is my great-great-grandmother. And I knew she was buried in the Carmelite Abbey Cemetery because I found her obituary. And when I went to Ireland in 2009, Father Bernard at the Abbey actually let me photograph her page in the register book. And he was very generous in showing us the book. My cousin Pat and I went over to visit Father Bernard for quite a while, and he let us look at the register book. Now, when I went back in 2011 with my husband Alan, he actually let Alan and I photograph the whole book. Father Bernard gave us the book, and we sat for about 45 minutes to an hour photographing each page of the internment register. He knew we were going to put it online here at Find a Grave. And when Alan and I got back to America, it took us several weeks, but we actually transcribed the entire internment register and uploaded the people who are buried in the Abbey, some notations of people who are buried in Gary Breda in Loch Ray. But if it wasn't for Father Bernard's actual generosity, we wouldn't have had access to all the names of the people who are buried there from the church register. And then Alan and I went around and photographed all the headstones. And we still haven't finished the project, and that was 3 years ago. But anytime that we find a headstone image and we can match it to a name that we've already uploaded to the website, we're going to load the headstone image to this memorial page. Now, what I'm going to try to do is find other family members who are buried in Carmelite Abbey. So when I click the Carmelite Abbey link at the bottom left, it takes me back to the main page of the cemetery, and I'm going to type in the name Sweeney and tell it search. I want to find out what Sweeneys are buried there and what information is in their memorial pages, hopefully finding relatives and confirming relationships of suspected family members. irishgraveyards.ie is a free website that you can search, but I believe that the organization is a paid organization. I'm not quite sure about that. I do know that they go around Ireland to different communities and they go through the graveyards in the area and clean some headstones, as well transcribe the information and upload the information to this website. So you can search their database for what's currently loaded, and it's an ongoing project. So I suggest you come back and check often, because they're in different locations, and it takes quite a while to go through a record, to go through a cemetery and photograph everything and try to find interment registers and then upload the data correctly to the website. So if I click Graveyard Search, I have the option of seeing what cemeteries are uploaded at their website by county, and then I'm going to look in, I'm actually having it search the Athenry Cemetery under the Galway County tab, and I want it to show me any canons that they might have information for. Here is the Athenry graveyard page, and when I scroll down, it shows me the canons that are listed from the cemetery. And if I click on a name under that list, it will show me the headstone image as well as everybody who is notated on that particular headstone in that particular plot. So not only am I finding information, for example, on John Cannon, who died in 1958, I also see who else is buried there. So this will help me confirm relationship of family members and possibly find more information on family members. Irish News Archives is a paid website. You can search their database. They'll show you some search results. It's limited for free, but you have to pay to see the original image. Now, if I tell it to search for anything on Peter Sweeney of Loughrea, in the time period drop-down box, I select a date range from year 1860 to 1922. Now, I've got 3 or 4 Peter Sweeneys in my whole family, cousins and direct line, and siblings on my direct line. So I'm telling it, give me everything you got that mentions Peter Sweeneys from Loughrea. And this is the search results. Now, I do know that my great-grandmother's brother, Peter Sweeney, died in Loughrea in March of 1922. And here is a newspaper article called Passing of a Pioneer. I'd love to see that article. So when I click it, I am taken to the page where I must subscribe by time to view the image. Now this is where I agree, probably, with Gabriel Byrne about how some websites and some people in Ireland do a price gouging on tourists in diaspora of people who are visiting Ireland. This type of website that wants me to pay by time, I fully disagree, and I'm very frustrated that the only way I can access this, they basically have control over me. I've got an image that nobody else has. They are the only ones with it, and I have to go through them. I have no other choice. I must go through them. And they know that, and they're going to stiff me with pricing. I don't have time to sit here for a 24-hour window and search all my family for information in their database. I've got to spend roughly $12 or $13 American money for a 24-hour window to view the images. But I work during the day, and I'm babysitting my daughter, my granddaughter, and I sleep at some point during that 24-hour period. I don't have time to do a 24-hour window. Am I going to spend, for example, the last column item says for 1 year is €350. That's like $450. I'm not going to spend that kind of money. If they set this website up for pay per image, even if they say, okay, buy 5 views or buy 20 views, and they give me a range of how many views with a variety of prices, I'd be much more willing to go to this website and without blinking, maybe say for 10 American, I can have 10 views. I would do that because it would allow me to come back day after tomorrow when I have time again to go on the internet and do some more research. Or in 3 months when I get another clue on another family member and I come back to this website to search their database for any newspaper articles on that person with the new information. Well, in 3 months, I don't want to have to spend the money again for that 24-hour window. I would prefer to search once or twice today, come back in another week, search again. I would have, again, no problem buying the per view rate plan. I have strong issues with buying a time limit on my views, even if I chose a month, because I know it's going to take me a while to search through my other databases to come up with information and then come back to this website and search. If I did that in a 1 month range, that's going to cost me $70 or $80, and that's a lot of money for 1 month. I disagree with how this is set up, and it frustrates me. I do, however, understand that it needs to be paid for. I have no problem with paying. It has good search results, but I disagree with how they want me to pay. Irish Times is another pay-to-view results website. I can search the archive. I'm looking for the same information. Show me anything from Peter Sweeney of Loughrea from January of 1860 through December of 1922. And when I search, I scrolled down and found another piece of information on another Peter Sweeney in the family that had a newspaper article on his death in 1900, and it's called Fatal Accident to a County Councilor. But when I click on that image, because I'm going to buy it, I want to see that, again, I'm taking to pay per view by time. Again, it frustrates me, and I won't rant on this website because I just ranted to you on the other website, but everything I said applies to this one. I can't stand websites that make me pay by time. National Library of Ireland has a website, and if you click the English tab, because it also has it in all Gaelic, I can find information to do family history research. When I click that link, it brings me to this page. It has a lot of useful how-tos, information, suggestions, other website links. The information down the left side in that list has very good information, and I suggest you review it all. It will give you more data on different locations on how you can find records for your family. Roots Chat is a chat room. It's a forum, and it's free. You can click the search button. They will want you to, when you type in your information, they'll want you to set up an account and not do it as a guest. Just set up an account, but it is free. And when I ask for it to search for anything on any Patrick Cannons, all the forums that mention Patrick Cannon, regardless of location, will appear in the search results. And you can find useful information on this website. IrelandRoots.com is another chat forum. Now down the left side, I can select Galway County and see what is specific to Galway County. When I do that, there's an alphabetical list of people who have left messages, made posts in the forums. It's listed alphabetically. When I scroll down, I was actually looking for the name Cannon. I was trying to find any information on Michael Cannon, my great-grandfather, who was born in a Timon in Galway County. And when I scrolled down, I actually found a forum message that a gentleman posted that said he had extensive information on the Cannon family from the Athenry and Timon areas, and he'd be very willing to share with anybody who needed help. So I emailed him and left him a message, and I said, my Michael Cannon was born in a Timon. I believe his parents are Patrick Cannon and Ann Connolly. I have his birth record. Do you have any information about Patrick and Ann Connolly? And he replied back. He had their marriage record. He had Michael's other siblings, the other children of Patrick and Ann, and it was able to give me the opportunity to take my family line back one more generation. And I found extensive information on the family because of that man's generosity from this website. When we went to Ireland in 2009 for a family reunion I organized in Loughrea, we actually had the opportunity to meet a Sean Cannon who lives in a Timon, who is also a second cousin, because his great-great-grandfather was Patrick Cannon. So we were able to meet a cousin because of this man's generosity that I found in a forum at this website. I really like it. Discover Ireland is basically a tourist website. What can you do? Where can you go? Where can you stay? So under the Things to Do tab in the upper left, I click that, and I want to click the down arrow button next to Find Me. I want to say Tracing Your Ancestors. Then I have to select either all destinations or a specific area. I'm going to select Galway County, and I click the little orange circle, the arrow button, so it will move. It will go. It's a go button. It will take me to this page. And this page actually has really good links to different researchers and organizations that have data with contact information and possibly links to their website on people who do genealogy research in County Galway. So I like this website as well. Now that brings us to the end of our series of Building the Bridge Back to Ireland. In case you were wondering, this photograph is copyright of Joseph Mishayan. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. And it is a photograph of the Bridge of Tears in County Donegal, where they basically walked their relatives off out of the villages that were immigrants. They said goodbye as they crossed this bridge, and they started calling it the Bridge of Tears. Now, hopefully, there is something in this whole series that I can give you that will allow you to find more information on your ancestors. Hopefully, there's some clue from some website or from some record that you might not have known about that will help you extend your research. And when you go to visit Ireland, you'll be able to go to the townlands where they were from and have a really good time and know where you're going and know who you're going to see and have a better opportunity when you are visiting Ireland. And there will be no tears. Thank you very much for watching.